God damn it.
All right. Sweet intro, bro.
Oh, shit. Well, hello.
Hello. Happy anniversary to us and to all of you. I know we're a few days late here, but it is our 1 year anniversary of the Screaming Idiots show, and it's been a wild ride. And I want to personally thank, well, I couldn't personally thank because there's a lot of you, but I want to send a very heartfelt thank you to all of our listeners, all of our viewers on all platforms that have helped support this platform for the past 12 months. We've learned a lot about ourselves, about how to do this. Still learning as we go. YouTube noticing today we've got headphones on so we can actually hear ourselves and do a little on-the-go EQ. So it's been a wild ride, boys, and I know that we've made changes to the show format. We've had a ton of really awesome guests on, covered a lot of great topics in music, gotten emotional, laughed our asses off, gotten a little drunk on the show. So it's been a good time, and I want to kind of kick this anniversary episode off before we start diving into some music and just kind of go around and talk about, when we think back, kind of year in review, what has been either your favorite moment or some of your favorite moments from the show. I can go first if...
Good.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Man, the Chris Hollywood interview was special. I mean, that was special. It was so cool to... It was one of those, man, am I really sitting here doing this right now moments, interviewing a celebrity. That was really cool to hear him tell his story and be so nonchalant about it, because it's nothing to him. It's his life. He lived it. To us, we're like, holy shit, like, that's big time, dude. And so that was really surreal for me. And also being able to get vulnerable about things in life and talk about it confidently and kind of put shit out there and get it off my chest and be vulnerable enough to know that thousands of people can listen to this or going to listen to this and being fine with it. That was cool. That was really cool for me. So, boys.
I mean, I'm kind of right there with you on the moments of vulnerability, because, and I mentioned this to someone recently, I can get up in front of a crowd of like any number of people and just beat the fuck out of that bass, and I'm cool. Like, get a little bit nervous, but it's not that bad. You ask me to speak in front of like 4 people, and I am a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
You do the Leo, I was hoping we were going to make a Leo reference on the show today.
I was born in 1940. Great. But, oh man.
But I can't seem to speak in front of like groups of people, and being in a room with people I feel comfortable speaking about these things with is great, in the sense of I'm able to get this shit off my chest. It forces it. I think I spoke about it before. It's forced me to find a way to put these things into words, which is something I've never been very good at. And then knowing that other people are going to listen to this, it's kind of like a bit of a confidence builder of like, you know what, I've made a step to get over some of that nervousness, the anxiety of speaking in front of people, because even though it's just the 3 of us in this room, I still know that there's a lot of people that are going to listen to the episode. So in a sense, it's almost like the middle ground between just speaking amongst friends and then speaking in front of a group of people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that middle ground where I don't have to like see the people, but like I know that they're there.
You know they're there. It's like
they're going to be there. So it's kind of helped me with speaking, and then to add on the personal topics that we've kind of covered, and the emotional topics that we've covered. Like it's hard to talk about that even amongst friends sometimes without breaking up and kind of letting nerves take over, and it's been pretty cool being able to get through that. And then I know there's other people out there that can relate to some of the things that we've talked about, and I hope that in some way they've listened to it and maybe it's helped them feel more confident talking about their issues with someone. Maybe them just feel like, hey, I'm not the only one. I know sometimes that gives me some comfort to know that I'm not the only one struggling through some shit. But the other things that I would say kind of my favorite is, man, there's been some topics around bands that just certain bands we've talked about just got us so juiced.
Mm-hmm.
And like those moments of excitement to get in here and talk about those things, and the excitement in the moment of the conversation was just really awesome. And I know, like, we've talked about how we always have these conversations, in private anyway, and these are just conversations we have amongst ourselves, and we're just sharing these conversations with you guys, the audience. But most of those conversations are through a group text message.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't really perceive as much of the excitement and whatnot through that. So this has kind of given us an excuse to get into the garage and have those conversations in person and be excited together. And
it's cool because you know that there's people out there listening that get just as fucking
they get juiced
about we're talking about their favorite band or something.
Well, one thing I've always wondered, like, maybe I'm a weirdo, but like when I hear a certain piece of music or a certain amount of music or certain genre of music, there's a way I try to describe it and a way I guess transcribe it to myself. And then I try to explain it. And I've always wondered if the listeners or certain people feel that exact same way, or do they hear it a completely different way than what I do?
Perception is reality, man.
Right.
They might perceive what you're saying in a different way. I don't know. But I will also end with one of my favorite things about this podcast. And it is often what goes on after we hit, we hit stop. Yeah. And like we had a really bomb-ass episode. Like we felt like we were just all on point. And the conversation was really good. The content was really good. And then we start turning on some jams while we're breaking things down, and then we start doing fucking new dances and shit.
What was it called? What do we call it?
Oh, God.
Fuck.
I don't remember.
It was some kind of walk.
What
was it?
Did we put it in the Instagram comments?
Yeah,
probably?
we might have put it in the Instagram comments on the reel there, but
we'll do it tonight.
It's fucking beautiful.
It's a garage mosh, bro. It's just
we had a fucking mosh pit in the garage.
A 3-man garage mosh because we're just vibing. And that was right after Fatalism dropped, and we were just
went
fucking
nuts
going
All
nuts.
In Veins breakdown.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Moments like that, and or when we all just pick up a guitar and jam afterwards or beforehand, and I mean, let's be honest. It's been a month since we've recorded, and you're in school.
Yep.
I'm hitting my busy season. You're busy as shit. And it's hard to get all three of us together in the same room to just shoot the shit and listen to music and jam and do what we love to do together. And it's hard to do that as often as what we'd like to do. So when we get to do this, that is a quote unquote excuse to do those things. And it's fucking beautiful. I guarantee you we're gonna turn jams on when we're done recording tonight and lose our shit, and it's gonna be a good time. I missed you guys.
I'm gonna make puke sounds.
Yeah, bro.
We can listen to Boundaries.
They got a new song coming out tomorrow.
I love Boundaries.
Third and final single.
I love
They said.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about that shit
Wait,
for
wait,
a moment.
hold on. I want Preston, just real quick, your favorite memories of the last year.
Man, there's so many, but for whatever reason, probably because I don't have the best memory, I can't pinpoint one specific. But the premise of this show and why we decided to do it was based around music. Our love for music, our hate for certain kinds of music.
Avenged Sevenfold, we're talking about you. Let's throw it back to episode 1.
Just being able to
Episode
talk
1
it out.
and like 3 other episodes.
Right.
You fucking shit can man.
Just being able to talk these things out in detail and be able to sit here and like you pick up what I'm trying to say, but I can't get it out. Like it's not
Can't
making
find the words.
sense. Can't find the words.
Like that moment right there. Yeah.
Or the moments of there it is. Or the moments of debate where something's not making sense to one of us. But
The
one,
comedic relief.
yeah, a little bit of like take a shit. Yeah. Everybody watch Leo if you haven't. It's amazing.
I don't care if you have kids or not. It's a great
It's
movie.
fucking incredible.
Walker loves it. He laughed his fucking
Oh, it's
ass
hilarious,
off.
dude. It is hilarious. But the one thing is really cool to see because we obviously don't get to see him as often as we like is, you know, when Derek has came
Yes.
down twice or two,
At least
three
three.
times. Yeah. But like seeing
By the way, I know you're listening, Derek. Your time is coming. Your reserve weekend is due.
he's
So,
probably got that house almost completely done.
Call
But
him the
seeing
summer
him, seeing the revival of Derek's love for rock and metal music, and him being able to come down and really get into those conversations.
He's not the only one.
No,
that's the cool
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's the cool thing.
But being able to have him on the couch and remember when we were 17, 16, having versions of those conversations and it happened
We're the
all
real
over
rock
again.
revival, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's really cool, man. It's I've grown as a person. You guys have grown as
Absolutely.
people. Time fucking flies. Don't take advantage
I can't believe
of
it's
it.
been a year, man, since we started this. Over a year now. We're like 3 or 4 days past it, but it's crazy that we've been doing this for a year. Like,
Jesus Christ.
does not
been
feel
like
like,
a few
that
months,
at all.
man.
Matter of fact, I got an email from what made me think of it because I completely forgot.
You had to renew your subscription or something?
No, to our PodSurf thing.
Yeah.
No, I think it's on auto renew, but they did send me an email like 1 year anniversary of your podcast. I was like, whoa, it is, and I was like, damn, I cannot believe we've put out a year's worth of content, and
That's real life.
And you know, I know we pushed ourselves pretty damn hard when we were doing it
did.
in the format that we were doing it, and I really think there was quite a bit of momentum for a certain period of time, and that would have been nice to stay on that run. But looking back, like we'd have gotten even more burnout.
yeah, I think so too.
With everything else going on, we'd have gotten even more burnout.
And I think that we, myself included, was starting to, maybe most specifically myself, was starting to lose sight of the reason why we started to do this.
Yep.
And I got caught up in the, I want success, I want this to just blow up. And I forgot why we started it in the first place. And that was a moment of checking myself, right? Like reality check of, bro, you didn't start this to be famous. You didn't start this for it to blow up. You started it because you love talking about music with your bros. Take a step back, take a deep breath,
We're the
make it
bros,
about that
by
again.
the way.
Yeah, you're the bros. Yeah, y'all the bros. Take a step back and remind yourself that that's why you started it in the first place. So, and that's what this has done. Like I was so juiced to get in the studio tonight and talk, because I know we're going to talk about boundaries. I know we're going to talk about Math 4. I know we're going to talk about Era and all this other shit coming out. So it's exciting to talk about that.
Been itching for like 3 weeks to get in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude, the bad thing, I thought about it earlier because me and him have had a bunch of conversations about music lately. You know, we were recording a song and had a gig this past weekend and lost our shit. But like, I've been listening to so much shit lately and I've had so many thoughts. And then I got to today,
Gone.
gone.
Yep.
I'm like,
gone.
fuck, what were those few things I wanted to talk about on the show?
Well, there's the short podcast episode from Punk Rock MBA
Yeah,
that you had
yep,
sent me
that's right.
yesterday.
Yep.
we could dive into that a little bit. Kyler, I don't know if he shared it with you, but
No, I was left out of that conversation.
Dick.
It's a podcast that I knew you listened to,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why
I'm
I
sure it
sent
was
to
a
you.
just in organic
was-
conversation between the two of you
Yeah,
about
it
work
was-
or
it
about
was
the band
pretty-
or something. So I'm not upset about
It was a pretty short
when Preston
episode,
texts me,
but
it's about sports. Like if he texts me out of the group chat, it is always about sports.
I don't do sports.
So
Plus, he knows, well, you know as well, but I don't like texting. So if I text
Right.
just something quick and fucking easy, I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
and
Anyway,
I talk on the phone for a fucking living, so I hate talking on
Yeah.
the phone.
I could sit on the phone for 4 hours if it's something
I just don't like
interesting
talking to
me.
people for the most part.
That's fair. I
I
don't
like
mind
talking to you guys.
I like
but-
talking to my boys, but I don't
Yeah.
like talking to people.
I love people.
You do. You're a good person. You know that?
That's cool.
You're a good person.
like people.
I'm a shitty person.
You know, I got to thinking about it real quick.
Don't lie.
Seriously, this was a conversation I wanted to have with you today, but we both got cut off.
Man, you was with that bitch with the fattest.
What ended up happening?
Real quick.
I got
don't
to thinking
lie.
about it, and maybe Kyler, because you hate people, you may not relate. But like, I found myself, and probably because I'm looking forward to other things, but like, I get excited to go to school now than I do work, and I'm
You
thinking,
did snap me today.
yeah,
say
and I'm thinking
something
like,
about that.
why is that the case? And one, I realized I wasn't like actively learning new shit often. But two, I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, in the 2 months that I've been back to school, the people that I've met are fucking awesome, and I enjoy going to school and seeing those fucking people. And I'm pissed that I won't be in the program this fall with them, because those are the kind of people that I want to be in a program with this fall.
You know what's cool is we joke about how I hate people, and I do dislike 90% of the population. But like my job, like I love the people that I work. I love 99% of the people that I work with, and I have no problem shooting the shit with them at company meetings or calling them up out of the blue to see how they're doing, or them calling me or something like that. And you know, you talk about you felt like you weren't learning anything. I think that there's two, and I don't mean to get on a whole human psychology thing, but it's funny because I can relate to that in the sense of, I think there's two kinds of workers, right? There's people who want to be challenged every day. Want to have some, Derek has mentioned this before. Want to have some sort of problem to solve
Yep.
that you don't know the
That's
answer to.
man, essentially.
And then there's people that just want to collect a paycheck. Okay.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5. There is nothing wrong with people that just want to collect a paycheck. That's cool. That's fine. That's why there's jobs out there like that
To collect a
To
paycheck.
collect a paycheck. Go to work, clock in, clock out, go home. Don't worry about it. Whereas jobs like mine, jobs like yours, you got to take that shit home with you sometimes, right? So it's not just clock in, clock out. It is continuous problem solving, facing different challenges, and I find that exciting. And like, I have turned down so many other job opportunities in the past 6 months. Recruiters have been hounding me hard, which is a blessing to be wanted, but I've turned down so many opportunities because I'm like, I'm not going to get what I'm getting here anywhere else. I'm
Yeah.
just not. And because I truly love what I do, and I love being challenged every day. I have my moments where I'm like, y'all know me, I'm to the extreme. I fucking hate this job. Fuck this place. Fuck. I have my moments. But for the most part, like, man, being challenged and having a new
Something
adventure
to chase
every
after.
day,
Yeah.
bro, it's awesome.
Yep.
That's why you going back to school, you're going back to school. Y'all aren't currently getting
Oh.
that excitement every day that you're craving, and you want to do something more. You want to challenge yourself more.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I feel like I have a pretty short learning curve. So one of the issues I have, and one of the reasons I've had so many jobs since I left the military, and really since I've been an adult, is that I'll get into an organization and then I just figure it the fuck out. And I know I don't have everything like understood about this industry or this business, but it's like at the level I'm at when I go in, I'm like, I understand what's going on like 2 levels above me, and then I get irritated when I'm like, why am I still at this lower level?
Yeah.
I know I could do this job like 2 levels above me.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really get the opportunity afforded to me to do that.
Which is weird because you're like super cute.
Right.
So-
I got the beard to match a boss position
You're
and
super
everything. You know what I mean?
Time has passed and they turned into queers.
They done went fag on us.
But that's why I'm going to school, because Preston mentioned it the other day. He had a conversation with his professor or
with
whatever,
one of the professors. Yeah.
talking about constantly learning and challenging your brain and stuff. And Preston called me about it because he knows that I'm constantly like trying to read books about like business and leadership and mindset and sales and all these different topics like that, because I know that when I'm learning and really challenging my brain consistently, I perform better in everything else.
Yep.
And
I just play a
so
lot of video games.
hey, that's fine.
Really challenges my
Whatever
brain.
It's stimulating.
whatever
It is. Helps me
bliss
sleep,
you
believe it or not.
choose.
No shit. No shit. Now, I have a blue light filtered monitor. I wear blue light filtered glasses, so I'm not getting all that blue
Yeah.
light to keep me
Yeah.
up. But
Okay.
I play with a really low light, and I game for a few hours before bedtime. Sleep like a baby.
It's probably just one of those things that clear your mind.
It really,
It's an
because
escape.
I'm a huge overthinker. When I lay down at night, all I think about is what I got to do tomorrow, what I got to do the next day, money, whatever it is.
I'm thinking the next 50 years of my life every night I go to bed.
Yeah. So same. So and I'm so jealous of Cheyenne because she's just fucking out every night, and I'm like,
I'd wake her up.
how you do that?
That's why I'm single. If I had a chick that just fell right to sleep, I'm like, nah, wake the fuck up.
Yeah. No. If I'm up, you up, bitch.
You go struggle with me, motherfucker.
You go struggle with me, bitch.
I got some shit to talk about. Let's
But
go.
man, when I hop on COD for a few hours, just grind camos or something, turn that shit off, take my blue light glasses off, pass the fuck out. It's great. It's great.
That is great.
So, okay. The anticipation has been building. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Boundaries.
Leah.
Boundaries.
Oh.
Look,
We talked about it on the last episode, but they did drop another single between now and then.
It's even better.
So, yes. And
Shit's
the
fucking
album
wild,
comes
bro.
next Thursday?
Next Friday.
Not,
the 29th.
Okay, so yeah, not this Friday, but next Friday. Oh man, my dad has a colonoscopy on that day. I got to take him to the
Yeah,
hospital.
next Friday.
My dad's going to get his butt looked at, and I'm going to be losing my shit to Boundaries, bro. Shout out.
he's going to be
Jamie.
losing his shit too.
God damn.
That was top tier.
Is he getting a G-tube put
That was
in?
top tier. Huh?
Is he getting a G-tube put in?
Do you know what a colonoscopy is,
Yeah,
bro?
dude.
They
Get up in there,
they snake in
motherfucker.
his butthole. All right.
His sigmoid colon.
He texted me today. He's like, "You busy on Friday?" I'm like, "I don't think so." He's
I
like,
gotta get something stuck up my ass.
he's like,
I need you
I got
there
a-
with me.
I got a colonoscopy. They're putting me out. I need you to ride me around. I'm like, don't put ride me and colonoscopy in the same sentence, bro. All right. I will
got you.
drive you around. Okay. But
Holy
don't
shit.
say ride me
Words
around.
matter, okay?
Words matter. Words matter. So, that's next. Okay. Yeah.
Next Friday.
Yep. Okay.
As
Perfect.
well as a Bill Murray single, I think.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck about that.
Oh,
Let's
I
talk
do.
about what's important.
So first off,
I'll let you get to that.
I mean, there's.
Is he an album guy anymore?
Yeah,
more
he'll
emoji
probably
EPs
drop
and
one.
singles.
He's changed styles every 2 albums, so he'll like change a style,
he
drop
seems
a
to
few
be more of an
songs, and then
EP
do an
kind
album.
of
yeah.
thing, though.
Yeah, that's a debate I want to have
They're like
later.
6 to 8
Oh, absolutely.
song
Yeah.
deals.
So Boundaries, newest single,
Pale Light Lingers.
Pale Light Lingers with Lockie.
I can't remember his name,
Yeah,
but Alpha Wolf's frontman.
frontman. Bro,
Good God.
bro. What do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about the fucking tone? Do we want to talk about that fucking that
First and
tempo
foremost,
shift from
Yeah. That's the best
First
part of
and
the song.
foremost,
Go ahead.
I want to mention Boundaries is doing it the right fucking way.
Yep.
You
Explain.
only release 2 to 3 singles per album,
Per
you
10 to
fucking
12
twats
song
out
album.
there.
Yep.
Now
Whoever
explain-
the fuck is in charge of this shit, you only release 2 to 3 singles per album.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a 20 fucking song album. Then you can release
4 to
4 or
5.
5.
Yep.
But look,
You should
they're
never
releasing
release
3
more than a quarter of the album.
Well, and you would think people would like to me.
And 3 singles is a quarter of a 12-song album. So
Right. So,
baby.
like, to me, you would think people that listen to this kind of music, not your pop, not your rap, not your whatever, because, to me, it feels like they would just take it, just give them whatever.
Yes.
But, like, we want to sit down or drive and listen through that whole fucking album.
Correct.
Why would you release 5 to 6 of them? Why?
Because then you're going to come to it in the album and be like, oh, yeah, I've heard this 10 times.
Yeah, I mean, Polaris, because I overplay it, but, like, fuck, dude, I didn't want to listen to Overflow. I didn't want to listen to Nightmare. I didn't want to listen to
Inhumane.
Inhumane when it dropped just because I had listened to each one
You
at
almost
least 12 times.
You almost destroy the context of the album as a whole.
Yes. Yes.
When you release half of the fucking album. And then it's like, what the fuck is the point in releasing an album anyway? Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you
Yeah.
just
Two
split it
EPs.
up into 2 EPs?
Do one every 6
drop,
months.
Yeah, drop one. You'd build so much more momentum that way.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't
Stop
get it. Either. I understand that it is capitalizing on our incredibly short attention spans.
Yeah.
And captivating people over and over and over again up until the release of the album, because you know that they're still going to listen to it, but they've also been listening to your 5 or 6 singles for the past 6 months.
Well, if you think about it, and of course this section of this show is going to turn into a dick writing session of Boundaries, but whatever. The time frame of when the first single dropped
Which was a month ago. A
to
little
when
over a
the
month ago.
album is going to drop
It's perfect.
is perfect.
It's perfect. Give me
Perfect.
It's
2
not
months.
8 fucking
Give me
months. It's
2
not
months.
6 months.
2.5 months.
Exactly.
Drop
Release
2
your
or 3
3
singles.
songs.
You know,
Yes.
Speaking of your what you had just mentioned of these people trying to take advantage of our short attention span, they are being counterproductive in that endeavor, because by the time the album releases, my
We've moved
attention
on.
I have moved on from these singles. So
Yep.
half of the fucking album
I don't feel like
has
I'm listening
already
to an
been
album.
released, and I don't want to really listen
Yep.
to them because I've already worn them out.
Yep.
My attention is far past these
You've-
these songs.
You've already moved on to probably a different fucking subgenre.
But dude,
Oh,
I haven't
dude.
listened to Maul's new singles in 2.5 weeks now,
I'll be real honest with you.
and I love them.
Haven't listened to the new one.
Oh, it's great.
It was good.
Oh yeah, I
It's-
did. Yeah, I did. No, yeah, I did.
It's
It's
great.
funny. I did want to talk about that because I feel like we owe Chris an apology.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We talked about
'Cause
him
as
not
soon
being
as
able to
I heard
sing,
the
and I was
ad-
like,
they were promoting real quick. They were promoting an ad, and as soon as you know how the ads of music songs that are coming out will pop up on Facebook or wherever. As soon as it did its little thing, I heard Chris singing, and I'm like, oh shit, we gotta walk it back.
we got walk
We
that
gotta
shit.
walk it back.
Yep.
Well, I don't think we really meant like he
We just
couldn't sing
asked.
anymore. We were
Yeah.
just just
Wondering if
assuming
he'd had
that
an issue
maybe
lately.
he was having issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on what we heard live.
Yeah.
Because I know like Sean talks about it. He talks about it is easier for him to scream than to sing the way he does.
Yeah.
And Chris is very similar in the way that Chris sings
Yes.
very high pitched ranges. And buddy, that's tough.
Yeah.
Especially with how raspy it is.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
He's putting on
Boundaries.
force.
Yes.
Back to Boundaries.
I loved the first single.
Easily erased.
And
I
I
think
still
that's
do.
what it's
Yeah,
called.
easily erased.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Yep.
Great first single to drop.
Fucking
Perfect.
religious experience.
And then they
You threw
dropped
the chorus in there with yep.
yeah, with their drummer going nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
that song made me believe in God.
So then they dropped this other one with Locke from
Yep.
or Lochi Locke. I'm not sure how they
I'm
say
not
it,
sure.
but whatever, from Alpha Wolf. Apologize for pronouncing your name incorrectly, sir. Big Alpha Wolf fan too. So
Shout out to your guys' new single as well.
yes, I want to talk about Architect's latest single too because we shit talk them a lot. and I need to walk
The one that
back
dropped a
on
few, like, it's been a minute.
Seeing Red.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's heavy. The guitar tone is dirty.
It's fucking
Yeah,
filthy.
it
And
is
bro's
dirty.
like, I'm gonna be Danny
Yep.
Warsnop from 2010 with that super deep growl.
We're all over the place.
I was like,
We were all over
fuck.
the place. It's
So,
fine.
It's been a
It's
while
fine.
since we've recorded, folks. But anyways, dude, I don't understand. This is the thing that I think drew me into Boundaries a lot was they seem to have perfected to my ears, for me personally, the tempo changes. Because Periphery does it a lot, and I hate it the way they do it.
It's more progressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because Boundaries does it so sudden, like right now. Like
Yeah.
on this new
It's out of nowhere.
on this new song, when it switches to dude's verse, it's immediate change in tempo, and you're like, it goes to that sludgy.
And
it
it's
just-
also, for you, this is just me just
Brainstorming.
guessing. But it's like, I would assume for you, it's styles of guitar playing and metal that you've always preferred compared
Yeah.
to genty, progressive.
I like chuggy.
Yeah.
I like chugs.
Yep.
I don't care for the genty, progressive, electronic kind of sounding. Like what do you say? Like a guitar fucks a computer. That kind
Yeah.
of
The newest Veil of Maya album.
Yeah.
Fucks a robot.
fucks a robot. That's what
Yeah.
it is. But yeah, dude, I am so fucking juiced for this new Boundaries album. As if I couldn't love them anymore. And they've blown me away with these first two singles. So, I mean, their other two albums, there isn't a single song that I don't like. So for me to hear these two singles and go, yeah, this album might not be as good. Nah, bro, this shit is gonna bang. This shit's gonna.
I
rip.
think it's going to blow them up.
I do
I,
too. I hope so.
I think perhaps to comment on why you like them so much and the tempo changes and stuff is that one, like you said, the riffs are a lot more to your liking compared to
Thrashier.
compared to like a genty styled riff. But also like the way the grooves when they do the tempo changes, the way the grooves connect is seamless.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the key in those tempo changes is not the riff, it's not the drum part or anything, it's the groove.
Yep.
And if you listen to their bass player,
Yeah, he's nuts, bro. He's nuts.
he does the thing.
Not to mention they blew me the fuck away live. So it was like this amazing first impression.
That fucking live experience
matters,
was
dude.
one of the most unexpected encounters in music I've ever had.
It was definitely the most unexpected for me, but it was also one of the most important because it really turned me on to this whole new style of music, this ragecore.
Yep.
Like it really got me into and I think and correct me if I'm wrong, Preston, but I'm not sure if Boundaries led you to Mouth for War.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So,
so-
I had not to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna.
I'm gonna.
I had heard of Boundaries because of being a YouTube nerd. I followed Misha for quite a few years now. Well, Misha dabbles in a little bit of everything when it comes to music. Well, he's involved or started or is the man of this label 3 Dot Recordings.
Okay.
And I remember Boundaries being a part of that. And I'm like, well, fuck, I'm going to check them out. And I remember hearing and seeing, because it's implanted in my brain, especially nowadays because of how much we listen to them, the White and Blue album. What's it called?
Oh,
We'll just
whatever
call
you
it
got-
the
amazing.
album that has my body is a fucking cage.
Yeah,
on
we'll just
it.
call
Yeah,
it amazing.
yeah.
It's amazing.
I remember hearing their
Is
music.
it Bury the Light?
That's a song,
Because
if
the
not
first
the album.
one is
yeah.
Your Receding Warmth. Is that album?
That's the black and red one.
The black
yeah.
and red one is Your Receding
Yeah, but I
Warmth.
just remember I listened to Boundaries, liked it, didn't dive into it because for me it takes me a while to really fall in love with a band for whatever reason. But I knew of Boundaries and listened to them, had a couple songs on my phone, and then we had been going to a couple shows together, and we understood that, well, maybe not at the time we didn't, but now we understand that you truly can't judge a band until you see them live.
Yes.
And when you guys went to that show, started talking about them, I'm like, oh fuck, I remember Boundaries. I haven't listened to them in a while, and then we got on the kick of Boundaries, and here we are. And now they might take over the metal scene,
I think you would
a portion
share,
of the metal scene.
I think you would share
probably
some
did
of their
a while
stuff
back.
with
I
me.
think you did like years.
Just like Silence's
then-
newest album,
Oh,
dude,
it
it is
riffs.
fucking
It riffs.
insane.
Yeah,
I have not checked out any of it.
it rips.
It's old school thrash,
But-
but with modern pieces to it.
yeah, it's
but
awesome.
with Boundaries, I think some of it had popped up during some shuffle sessions kind of thing too. But it wasn't something that really caught my attention until we seen it live. And
Yeah.
it was like the first 3 notes.
Oh, that's what we said.
And
First
it was
3 notes.
it
we
was
knew.
just a complete game changer.
We looked at
wanna
each
know
other
their
after the
rigs.
first 3 notes, and we're like,
I want to know their
Oh,
rigs and
'cause
their setups,
listen,
dude.
full disclosure, we're back at the bar getting beers.
We're in the fucking back.
Just
didn't think
chilling.
nothing about it.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's screaming, and we're like, oh, dude's got pipes. First 3 notes, we looked at you like, oh, we got to get that way. We got to get up in the shit.
Yeah.
Because it just fucking hit us like a ton of bricks. And that's why, like, the other bands were such a letdown.
Bro.
Because they just
It matters.
fucking tore it down, dude. Tore it fucking down.
Hey, they did not scoop the mids, bro.
No. There was no scoopage of the middage. Okay? What was that first band that came up? Scooped the fuck out of
Oh
it.
my! There's no mids. Couldn't hear the guitars at all.
Ugh.
It was a Japanese metal band that they actually have some really good music, and they're really, you could tell they're really talented,
yeah.
but they scooped the fuck out of the mid, so you couldn't hear
Well,
the
we
guitar
had
at
Pale
all.
Dusk. Pale
No,
Dusk
wasn't Pale
at
Dusk.
what show
it
with
was
us?
kind of similar.
The Polaris show was Pale
Yeah,
Dusk.
Pale Dusk.
And it was a Japanese metal band that we couldn't hear a whole lot at the beginning.
Varials, though, was sweet.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Japanese don't like the mids, man.
Apparently, the Japanese do not like the mids. They're incredibly intelligent individuals, but apparently they do not like mids.
I don't know. But anyway,
okay, random thought, that is one country that I would love to visit.
I've heard it's
absolutely.
cool.
Like, to
Yeah.
go see, like,
My
feudal
buddy-
Japan history, count me the fuck in, bro.
it's so violent.
What?
My buddy Drew
Japan?
was
Or
no
Japan.
feudal Japan.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was like,
So
I was
violent.
gonna say, I don't know that
Um,
Japan's a very violent country.
But my buddy Drew was stationed over there, and he absolutely loved it.
yeah, I'm all in. Bro, I love anime. Look, I got my DBZ shirt on.
But sorry.
No, you're good.
Anyway, so very excited about this album.
Same.
Very
haven't-
excited about Boundaries in general. I think they're gaining a level of traction that just their momentum. It's like a fucking train, and you're not stopping it.
I'm very hopeful for the Moths album too. Been incredibly impressed with their 3 singles. Feels like not No Eternity in Gold. What's
Pure Like Porcelain? The
no,
EP?
no. The
Predestation Paradox
no,
was one of the
no,
singles.
no. The album that got me into them.
Oh,
that's-
Dark Divine.
Dark Divine. It feels like Dark Divine with
Mixed with the new.
with
Pure
No
Like
Eternity in Gold, Pure Like
Porcelain.
Porcelain.
Yep.
That's what it feels like to me, which is like to me the perfect,
Perfect.
Mobs, like
Yep.
injected into my veins.
Yep.
So, pronounce the name of the new single for me,
Kintsugi,
Okay.
I believe.
which means what? It's very clearly
What
a
did it
Japanese
mean?
word.
Something
correct?
Japanese, and I could be pronouncing it wrong,
We're
but I do
probably
know that
pronouncing it
it's
wrong.
KINTSUGI. So I could be pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah.
But
Great song.
whew,
Great song.
right
Chris
when we
sounds
thought
amazing.
that he may not be singing anymore.
He heard us.
Mm-hmm.
So that scares me to know that he's listening. Okay. So
He's always watching. and
He's
you
always
better be fucking bouncing.
yeah, he's always watching, bro.
Bro, it's weird. and
you. And
I watched. I watched, or I've paid attention to comments on Twitter when they've released songs and talked about them and stuff. And it's like, we obviously love Moths and we understand that they've been doing it for a long fucking time now. But they are still not on the level of certain. Yeah, just a little bit, please.
They are not.
They're still not on the level of a Fit for a King, of a.
Speaking of that, did you listen to The Price of Agony? When
No,
sent
I
it
don't
this
like
year?
that song very much. I'd have to re-listen, but I just remember it being good chorus and stuff.
It has a great chorus.
But like they're still not on the level of a Fit for a King, of an August Burns Red, of a whoever you want to mention. And everybody in the comments was like, dude, they've been doing it for so long. Why the fuck are they still underrated?
We say the same thing about
Why do we
Polaris.
like these underrated bands?
So I guess this could go down a huge rabbit hole.
It could, because we're going to talk mainstream setup of
It is.
songs
It
and
is.
choruses.
It's what it
and
is. You're
hooks
exactly
and
right.
shit. Yeah.
So I have
Yeah,
been
just
I,
a bit,
I have
please.
been to Tyler. Hit the
I got
computer.
it.
Oh, you got it. Okay. So I have been to a show with Miss May I, August Burns Red, Fit for a King. Crystal Lake was also at that band or at that show. But I have seen those more mainstream metalcore bands, and you know, Miss May I was originally more of a deathcore band.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, in August Burns Red, I've never been a gigantic fan of theirs. You know, Mariana's Trench is good, but other than
Oh,
that,
they got jams. If
I'm
you
not
really
saying they
dive
don't,
in.
but
yeah.
I just was never a gigantic. They put on a great live show.
Yep.
They're great dudes. But I think that a lot of the bands that we really enjoy and really follow just do things. I don't know if drastically is the right word, but they're just on a different level of intensity when it comes to how they structure their songs. And because so many of them, Moths, Polaris are the first two that come to mind, and I'm not including bands like Boundaries or Mouthful
Yeah.
of War in this, because that's just like a whole different level of shit.
I mean, it's
but-
almost a different fucking genre.
It is. But these bands that we are really drawn to, it isn't just intro, verse, chorus, breakdown, outro.
Yeah.
It is, you know, Polaris, there's so many songs where they don't play the same riff twice.
Yeah.
The choruses have different words and different structures. Or you hear something that you think is the chorus, but it's actually just a bridge.
Yeah.
And their song structure is so different. And I think that a lot of metal fans out there don't care for that much difference in song structure.
'Cause what are they grabbing on to?
They like that hook that's why I think so many bands like Beartooth or I Prevail or shit like that, those are metal bands. But they are popular because they follow the oldest formula in the music book. And that is song structure. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with liking that. It's not my cup of tea, but I like to be surprised. I like, we talk about the tempo change in that latest Boundaries song. Blew me the fuck away.
Yeah.
Blew me away.
Because it
But
it
the
didn't
average-
build, but it just chopped
It's just a
down.
light
It was
switch.
like,
It's just a
whoa.
light switch, bro. The average casual, and don't take the word casual offensively. I don't mean it that way. But the average metal fan might not like that. And bands that we are drawn to a lot, Polaris, Moths, etc., really do a lot of that shit that's just kind of breaks away from that mold, that traditional song structure mold. So I wonder if that contributes to the lack of blowing up, if you will.
So
Go listen to a Metallica song and find me a weird ass transition like that. There isn't one out
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? It's verse, chorus, breakdown, solo. In
Yeah.
that term, solo, outro. So it's just, and that's cool. We loved that shit. Then we started discovering other stuff that's like, oh, even the OG metalcore bands, like
Yeah. Chugs throughout the whole song and a
Chugs.
hooky chorus.
It's a hooky chorus, a sweet
Yep.
solo, an outro, and you're done.
Yep.
Shit still slaps.
Yeah.
But the bands that we really are drawn to today just do shit differently, man. Go ahead.
all
Tom.
right.
Come on, old Redbeard.
So I think I've talked about this on the show before, but
I mean, this
biggest
conversation
thing-
is just reinforcing past conversations.
oh yeah.
that
So
we-
the
been a minute,
biggest
though. Yeah.
thing about pop culture and popular music is that there are like half-assed formulas. It's not like it's an exact thing,
Yeah.
right? But there's kind of like a guideline. And one of the things that you'd said is something I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before, is the idea of surprises. The average person does not like to be surprised. And so, even though in the metal community, we've talked about how we are often more avid listeners, we're more detailed listeners than the average person. The average metal fan, though,
Like Amity Affliction.
is not going to love being challenged. And you definitely see it with metal elitists and things like that are out there, the metal gatekeepers. Kyler is obviously one of them, as he is self-proclaimed. But no, these people, they don't often like being surprised, because even though they are part of this niche community of metal fans, they are often very relatable to the average human being. And so even in the metal community, listeners are going to fall into these trends, these formulas that they are going to grow accustomed to, and they are going to grow to expect from bands. And that's why the last 10 years at least of metal has been pretty fucking rough, as far as, you know,
Lot of
what
the
you
same.
see on like more of a mainstream level. And I think Preston and I have some things to talk about in that realm with the conversation we had started earlier with the Punk Rock MBA podcast. But all these, you know, the last 10 years of metal, everything that's on that kind of mainstream level is very much similar in song structure, or the keys that they're doing, the tunings that they're doing, the
style
the
of hook.
style, the hook, like
Yeah.
the Linkin Park chorus
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Whatever you want to call these things, you listen to a new mainstream metal song and you can almost guess what's coming every step of the way. Not that that's a bad thing if it's
If it
pleasing
hits,
to the
yeah.
ear and pleasing to the soul,
'Cause
then
that's why we-
fucking great.
That's why we like those alternative bands like Rain City Drive. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I know what's
We
coming
know
in
what's
that
coming,
song,
and it's fucking
but
great.
you have to make it
Yeah.
slam.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Can we
Now-
talk about Boys of Fall at some point too,
Oh
please?
yeah. Oh yeah. We will.
Please.
We will. for
Stray,
sure.
baby.
But
stray.
you know, with the things that we
Hey, he used the Mall's word.
He did.
anyway.
Any hooser. I'm sorry, Tyler.
Hooser.
He said straight.
So getting away from like the mainstream stuff and get more into the stuff that we listen to, which is growing in popularity.
It definitely is.
But it's a smaller niche kind of thing. They do things differently, but not so differently that it's like unrecognizable
We're not so
music kind of thing.
Yeah, because if it
it's-
was still completely all over the place, like I wouldn't be as into it.
Yeah,
merely
it's not just
adopted the
noise. It still
darkness.
follows like the structure
I was
of
born into
Western music. You know what I mean? The 12-note chromatic
Molded
scale and all that
by
kind of
it.
shit. But the fuck are you even saying over there?
I'm uttering Bane lines from The Dark Knight
Oh
Rises.
yeah,
Molded by it.
I don't even watch fucking Batman, but I know what that is.
That was a
But,
pretty good one too.
yeah,
It was.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born into it, molded by it.
Bane's a badass.
Yeah, bro. Everything
I'm
Tom Hardy
almost-
touches is
I'm almost built like Tom Hardy was in that fucking movie.
his back is insane in that movie.
I'm getting pretty
It's
close. I'm
massive.
excited about it. But anyway,
Any hooser.
that I think that really explains why some of the bands that we really love are not on the same level as a August Burns Red. August Burns Red is one of the earlier metalcore bands that helped
2003 or 4.
create the formula.
album.
You know what I mean? So
And they've definitely experimented, but because their popularity was so big at one point
Experimented
that it,
with other men or with
I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong.
Whatever you want to do, man.
You know, they've done some different shit musically from what I've heard throughout the years, but because their popularity at one point was so big, it's just carried and carried and
Are they
carried.
still
Oh,
that
yeah.
popular?
Oh yeah, I mean
Really?
they're still a big deal.
That's fair. I don't know because I don't follow them, so
Yeah.
that's why I was asking. I know that, like Josh Ader is still a big.
Oh yeah,
artist.
he's always been an ABR fan.
I think Dude Scream is garbage,
I see what you mean.
but he's really only got that one that he's really good at. He
Very
still goes
similar
outside
to
that range.
what's his face from
Yeah,
there.
but he doesn't even try. JT Cavey doesn't even try to go outside of that
Yeah,
range. Dude
yeah.
from ABR does. And
Yeah.
he's just
It's
not
kind of
great
yeah.
at it. You can tell he's struggling. And I'm not saying I could do it, but I'm just as an observer. You said Boys of Fall.
I mean, it happened.
I want to talk about alternative metal music. Unless you had one more thought on that.
No, I just it's really neat because this conversation continues. Because we're like, we often ask ourselves, why the fuck do we like this so much? And it seems like not the masses, but the metal community doesn't like it as much as we do. And not that means they have to, but it's like, bro, they're doing shit that I'm hearing that these other fucking 4 bands that you absolutely love haven't even thought of doing. But this song is also this song that what we like is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not understanding this?
Passion.
Everybody's ears hears shit differently.
Yep.
Unless you have gigantic ones like me, and then you hear everything. Listen, it's the truth. I'm sitting here in my Dragon Ball Z shirt, making fun of my own ears.
Hell yeah.
You got to be a man.
Be a man.
Everybody,
Really?
we've said it over and over again. Everybody interprets shit differently, and I'm not going to stand up here and beat my chest about, we joke about me being a gatekeeper, which at
I don't
heart,
really think you are, but
at heart, I probably am, because I think that a lot of the mainstream metal sucks, but that's just how I interpret it. I think Beartooth is fucking garbage. I've said it repetitively on this show. They're one of the most popular metal bands, period.
Mm-hmm.
So they're obviously not garbage, but to me they are. People probably listen to Polaris and think, I don't get why this dude sucks them off all the time. What's so great about them? They changed my life, bro.
Yep.
So it's hard for people to relate to us.
Same as it is.
It's
Yeah.
same for us to relate to
Yep.
them.
Yep.
I don't get why Tyler thinks that whatever band that he is into is. I don't get why you guys like Korn. You know what I mean. So it's just it's that same conversation.
I like early Korn.
Of you guys interpret that one way, whereas when I hear it, I'm like, that does absolutely nothing for me. And you guys are like, man, what are you talking about? It's fucking awesome. We just hear it differently. We appreciate different things. So while we have very similar music tastes, we still have differences. So imagine how it is for us to the average person that goes to Rock on the Range or whatever they call it these days, Sonic Temple or whatever,
Yeah.
and goes to enjoy Metallica and Alice in Chains and Five Finger Death Punch and all that. And they're, yeah, it's fucking metal, bro. And I'm like, you're a fucking poser. But they're not. You know what I mean? It's just they interpret it differently. So
I think it's just the level of passion. These other people might like a Polaris or like Moss to Flames or a Boundaries or Johnny Booth or whatever, but they don't feel as passionate about it, probably because they don't understand it. And they probably don't understand it because either they don't go to the depths that we do in listening, or I mean, I also notice, and I think we've talked about it also on the pod before, just where people who don't create music
Yeah.
don't understand it to the level that people who create music do. Like, I could go to a crowd of people, play 3 chords, and I'm a fucking rock god, right? But I go to a concert
Excuse me.
where other people are playing music, and most of the crowd is musicians, and I play, 3 chords.
They're waiting.
They're
on-
like,
yeah.
Great warm up, bro. What's
Yeah.
you fucking suck, bro. I'm like, oh,
Right.
yeah, I guess.
right?
Go cry now. But
What's that band that you Thrice? Thrice is fucking trash.
the audacity.
So on.
the audacity.
They unmedicated dog.
But anyway,
Stray.
boys,
Oh
boys
my
of fall.
god. And they like re-released Almost Happy with the album, and I forgot how fucking amazing that
They
song is.
they
was a
snuck
jam.
Stray onto us as well.
They snuck it in, bro.
I had
They
no
snuck
clue.
it in because you found it first. I'm the one that normally
it
finds
just
this
popped
shit.
up, and I was like,
Yo.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
gonna
And then you're
listen
like,
to this.
oh, a whole
And then
album.
I watched the music video and I'm like, oh
Dude.
yeah, baby. Yeah.
And the fact that he does it all himself
Oh my god, dude.
is
Just
crazy. Vocally. That he does it all himself vocally.
You know, your super metal heads, they're probably not going to be as into it because, you
It's
got
got
some
the
pop
poppy-
and you got some pop feel and whatever else to it. But dude,
I've been
Stray
obsessed
is one
with
of their
them.
best songs
I've
they've
been obsessed
ever
with
written.
them for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a guy turn me on to them in like 2014 or 2015 with Arkadelphia. That first album of theirs, and I was like, oh, these dudes different. And then they like got into the more poppy shit, and I was like,
They
I
built
still
different.
love this.
Yeah.
And so the Distance album was just an absolute game changer. So to have a new Boys of Fall album coming, it's cool. It's perfect because it'll be like you have one end of the spectrum with Boundaries and Moths and shit like that, and then you have something like Boys of Fall.
We
that's
should
like,
have a Rain City Drive record, I
should
would
have
think.
a Rain City Drive record. Yeah,
Because they had only released that single.
because they got the new vocalist, so that was like their
Yeah.
introduction for him, which was that's a mind blowing introduction. So you should have a couple.
We're going to have a good year,
oh,
boys.
we should.
I was just thinking the same thing because we were so scared.
Boundaries, Malls should have, which we talked about it last episode, a version of it, but Boundaries, Malls, Loathe potentially, Rain
of
City
Fall.
Drive, Boys of Fall.
Supposed to have a new As I Lay Dying album this year too.
Oh, okay. As I Lay
So-
Dying,
I'll touch
Era's
that.
got a new one coming out,
Which
which
so far-
I think we're not vibing as much.
Yeah, not
Um,
really feeling that one. Unfortunately,
It's just like the sound has outgrew us for some reason. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways,
anything to Boys of Fall. Other than that, it's
I
fucking
just-
amazing.
it's
The
so
new
cool.
single's called Stray.
It's so cool, and again, A+ album cover, the pinkish purple sky type thing. It's beautiful. A+ album cover for Boundaries. A+ album cover for. I'll give Boundaries a B+ actually.
It's
Very
basic.
simple.
Yep.
Moths A+
Pool
with
is cool.
the.
I knew
album
you was
art.
gonna like
You
it.
knew
I
was gonna
knew
love-
you was
yeah.
gonna like it.
He saw that and said, "Oh, Kyler's gonna fucking love that."
I was like, fuck the song. Kyler's just going to vibe with the cover, bro.
Yeah,
He's
so-
going to paint that shit on his wall.
Oh man, I love a good album cover.
By the way, how's the Bob Ross going?
bro, I haven't painted in like 3 months.
Let's paint.
I
bro.
need to paint. I need to get back to painting. I really enjoy
let's do
painting.
that.
The problem is we paint in the garage and it got cold, so it's because we use an oil-based paint just like Bob Ross does, and it stinks real bad. So you can't do that in the house with a kid.
Ain't nothing wrong with my back. Kyler never watched the video.
no.
So-
oh,
oh
we
my
did. We'll
God.
find it.
When I still have some blank canvases and
That's
stuff.
highway
and,
robbery.
when hide the money, y'all. There's poor people about. Truck driver, baby, I'm a janitor.
I miss you guys, but I
just-
miss bourbon even more.
I just bought this. I bought this truck of cigarettes straight cash. Now me and my brothers got cigarettes for life. I'm rich, bitch. If you have never seen the OG
Pulled out
Chappelle
the Cody
show,
Brown.
if you have never seen the OG Chappelle show, you have got to go watch the OG Chappelle show. That is the greatest comedian of my generation.
He's fucking awesome.
John, play the fight ring.
And then it's a Malls song
Yeah.
off Pure Like Porcelain.
It's amazing. But yeah, I'm super juiced for both the more heavy side of the albums that we're supposed to get this year, and then the alternative side. that we're gonna get. There's some awesome tours going on. I mean, good God, Creed, Three Doors Down, and Daughtry
Fucking
are
A.
touring together. I
Good
mean,
God, that's amazing.
Legendary.
that's could you,
Somebody tried to shit talk Three Doors Down at work the other day. Who was that?
who the fuck is trying to
Finn.
shit? Okay, ain't motherfucker named
Yes.
Finn ain't
Well-
got shit to say about Three Doors Down.
Well, that's a nickname.
Yeah, his
What's
name's
his
Matt.
real name?
He's an amazing dude, but
Yeah.
Well, I got words for you.
we got
Finn.
words.
I can't remember what he was saying, but anyways.
You love me, but you
What other
don't
tours?
know who I am. I'm torn between this life I lead and where I stand.
We got jams to
I
to
fucking
go
love
through
Three
tonight.
What other tours? Well, Era's on a big one right now. But they're
Before
not
the
coming
album
in.
drops?
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of during. It's
Okay.
during the album drop. They're not coming anywhere near Ohio. Well,
They'll put
I
on
won't
a
say
hell of a
anywhere
show.
near. I think they're going to be in like Pennsylvania, but they're not coming to.
Do I gotta
they're
do
not,
it again?
They're not coming to Ohio. So yeah, I'm super excited. We said it last episode, but I am super juiced for this year in metal. Any other genres you guys want to talk about? Anything exciting in rap or hip hop? I can touch on some country stuff.
No, I mean nothing like coming up that's exciting, but one thing me and Tyler and which this is a band he had sent me a long time ago, but I have been absolutely fucking immersed in and I cannot get away
baby.
from it. There's an alternative band,
Say it, motherfucker, say it.
Citizen,
Oh,
out of Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I had no idea they were from Ohio. They've
Alternative
been-
band?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a long fucking time. And I can't remember because I had listened to Citizen before quite a few times. But I don't know what specific song off the album Youth or off the album, I think it's called As You Please, landed with me probably 2 months ago, roughly.
It would have been from Youth. I'm pretty sure it was a song from Youth that I sent you. and
It might
then-
have been The Summer, The Night I Drove Alone, which those two songs are amazing. But I have listened to those two albums every single day for the last 2 months, and I cannot get away from them.
Yeah.
I've sat on YouTube.
I don't wanna get
and
away
I've,
from 'em.
I've watched live videos, live performances, time after time after time. I'm very thankful to finally understand Citizen.
So there's actually a lot of metal fans that I've run into that are fans of movements.
Mm-hmm.
And to give, so if anyone out there listens to metal and you know who movements are, Citizen is in that same realm.
Very yeah,
It's
similar. Pretty
There's
similar.
obvious differences
Yeah.
when you listen to it, but they're in that kind of alternative realm. And Citizen, man, just the songwriting and the no single part can exist without the whole with them. So for someone like me, I am someone who I want to hear a great song. I don't listen to music for individual parts. If individual parts stick out to me, that's great. But I want to know how everybody in the band is coming together and creating this thing. And if you can't come together and create a great piece of art together, then to me, you're not a great band. Citizen is one of these few bands that I think have mastered their ability to step into a room and connect.
You can feel them feeding off each other.
You can tell they get in a room and they connect on a level beyond the average band when they sit down and write a song. And just the layers, man. The layers are unbelievable.
It's like an onion. It's like an onion.
It's like
Love
an ogre.
onions.
Onions have layers.
They do.
But
Quite a few. Quite a few.
yeah,
Love
so
onions.
Citizen is definitely one of those that have been in heavy rotation. Movements also always.
Yeah, we fucking real quick. We might as well dive into what we've chopped up and listened to lately,
Yeah, that's great.
and then we can
been-
get on to Finn McKenty's podcast.
and we'll
And then
Punk
we
Rock
can
NBA.
maybe talk about our Johnny Booth show.
Oh yeah, close it out.
But I've been listening to a lot of reggae
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
again.
you said
So
that.
I go through these periods of time where I'll dive into reggae, and normally it's when I need something uplifting, because reggae, if you ever listen to the music, a lot of it is very uplifting message, just talking about like living in the moment, and just like you got Bob Marley always talking about love
I'm
and
just
shit
doing
like
some
it.
ASMR.
Yeah, but there's one
This
particular
motherfucker's
song.
aspirin over here.
There's one
ASMR?
particular
What is that?
song
You don't know what
that
ASMR is?
No, I don't think so.
It's you don't
I'll
have
pull it
TikTok.
up.
You wouldn't know. It's like an audio stimulation type thing. Oh my god.
So there's a song called "Always Vibin'" by Cashed Out, and this song really hit me in the last few weeks. I've been pretty down about several things, and I've kind of been coming out of that. And as I'm coming out of that, this song comes on and hits me in a certain way. And the message within, I'll kind of let everyone interpret in their own way. But to me, it's basically just like living your best life for you, to the point, and like not really giving a fuck what everyone else thinks, and really just focusing on your own happiness, to the point where everyone sees that, like everyone's interpretation of you is that you're just always vibing. You're just always happy. And the chorus is like it
People that
steers
are
the
always
way.
happy piss me off.
What's up with it, baby?
But it steers the way,
You're not
and it's
always
talking
happy.
about
Oh yeah.
letting your own happiness kind of steer the way, and just forget about everyone else until you reach a point that everyone sees you, and they're just like, you're just always vibing. And that particular song to me really came at a really kind of clutch moment, when I've kind of been adopting a mindset of there's a book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, that I looked into a summary of. I didn't read the full book, but it was about just knowing that you can't give a fuck about everything in the world, and you have to really choose what few things that you're going to care about, and kind of go all in on those few things, and then everything else is just fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Props to you for being able to sit down and read a book. If my opinion on books is the subtle thought of not giving a fuck.
I didn't read a book. It was a video where the author went through like a
breakdown
summary,
of the
like an overview of the book, because he had seen other people trying to summarize his book, and he was like, "Fuck you! I'm not letting you guys summarize my book. I'm going to do it myself."
I'm going to summarize my own book.
Yeah, so there's some of that, and I catch myself caring too much about things that, in the grand scheme of what I care about and what's going to make me happy, it doesn't matter.
It's valid.
And so there's some of that adaptation from that thought, that state of mind, carrying into me kind of bringing myself out of this rut that I've been in for a long time, and then songs like that hit me, and I owe a lot of my good mood lately to reggae. And I've talked about it before. Metal doesn't scream positivity all the time.
That is true.
When I need something positive, when I need something uplifting, I turn to reggae.
You want to go or you want me to go?
No, I mean there's not much I have to add other than I think Kyler could relate with me, but like when I hear a certain metal song, like it makes me happy, bro. Like it's just when I hear certain grooves and feels of music, it could be the most angriest fucking shit ever. I'm not listening to what they're fucking saying. I'm just hearing the tones of stuff and how it hits me in my chest, and I'm fucking happy, man.
I think for me, it's that metal amplifies the current mood I'm in.
Okay.
And if I am being honest, I'm not normally in a very happy state of mind. And so if I
You
am
need to
angry,
get happy, guy.
if I'm
I'm
angry
pissed
about
off like 75% of the time too, bro.
right, so if like
You
I'm
two
always pissed
motherfuckers
off,
are some angry motherfuckers, dude.
I don't know, but
Nah,
like if I'm
same.
angry or I'm sad
I
about
got you,
shit,
bro. I'm fucking pissed off
Hell
about
yeah,
90%
bro.
of this shit.
if
going
I'm
on,
angry,
too.
if I'm sad, and I listen to some metal, it's just going to amplify.
if I'm
that.
happy, I'm fucking lazy.
Yeah.
If
I
I'm
can,
happy,
I can
I'm
see
fucking
that correlation.
complacent.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I was furious this morning. I woke up fine, and then I was making Walker's. He likes to have a cup of milk in the morning, and I was getting him his
Hell
cup of
yeah.
milk, and it spilled. You know, don't cry over spilt milk. I lost my ever loving fucking mind. And if something
Spilled
goes
milk
wrong
is
in
a
the morning,
motherfucker.
if it got under the
It
fish
fucks
tank
up
and
your whole
everything,
day.
Oh, bro,
if
Kyler
something
was
happens in the
mad.
morning, I'm junked till noon.
I already know. Kyler was pissed.
I fucking yeeted that cup all the way across the fucking kitchen and then created twice as big a mess.
You
for myself
guys
to
must
clean
have
up.
more
But
testosterone than me,
Oh, I have such an abundance.
bro. Like
I actually think I have low test, but I have
Like
an
I-
abundance of fury.
when shit like that happens, like if it happens in a row, like I just get beat down, but I don't ever like I do have my outbursts where I'm like fucking
I
mad,
need
but
to
that's
fight.
rare. That's rare
I
for
need
me.
to fight.
That's
That's what
very
I
rare
need.
for me.
I haven't thrown a punch in a long time, a long fucking time. And oh
Bunch of
yeah,
mad.
yeah. I thought the computer fucked up. Yeah,
No,
that thing doesn't bleed.
that's fair.
It's just so weird how
And just so you people know, I don't think I'm a badass. I know I can get my ass fucking whipped.
just human to human to human, like unless you like a person pisses me clean, I don't get that way. Like taking this math class, I remember the first couple weeks I was stressed the fuck out and I was mad and I resorted to freaking the fuck out. But like rarely do I get like that.
Freak outs calm me down a lot quicker. Freaking out calms me down quicker. And no, I don't punch holes in my walls. I don't fucking hit anything.
Come on, Kyle.
I have an R on the end of my name, so. But
I
dude, this morning like I lost my shit, and then I chucked the milk cup, calmed myself down, went in and go get my boy, Dad, Bob, because he wants to watch SpongeBob, and he's so
Right.
happy, like there we go, and I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
I
Second I
wanna-
see my kid, I'm like, oh, I'm good.
I want to ask you something. I might take us down a journey here.
Fuck.
Do you ever feel a level of shame when you lose your temper?
If I lose my temper in front of anybody else, yes. If I lose even if it's not direct, like I've lost my shit in front of Cheyenne before about something that has nothing to do with her, and I get extremely embarrassed. Not directed to her, not anything of that nature. Might not even be in the same room, and I lose my shit. I'm like embarrassed.
I don't know that I've felt embarrassed when it's happened. If you lose your temper like I do, and it sounds like you do, you will eventually lose your temper in front of your kid in a way that your kid is likely to remember.
I would say that I have definitely lost my temper with him. I'm man enough to admit it. I have lost my temper with him one time real bad. And got bitched out for it, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mind cannot comprehend that he is only 18 months old. He does not fucking know what 90% of the shit that's tumbling past my teeth and lips mean.
Yep.
And I have lost my shit before. Did I hurt him? No. Did I do anything to hurt him? No. Did I get loud and probably say some shit I shouldn't have said? Absolutely. I'm man enough to admit it. Felt like a piece of shit after I did it.
I think one of my biggest regrets in life is the fact that I have allowed my temper to get the best of me with my kids. And keep in mind,
Bro, being a parent's hard.
I had
It
Nolan
ain't easy.
when I was 19. So I had young kids when I was very young and still trying to figure out how to control this anger issue and still try to figure out how to have a healthy mindset and still trying to figure out how to deal with life as an adult and all of these things. And so I had a lot of instances where I lost my temper around the kids or I lost my temper with the kids in a way that I shortly after felt very ashamed of myself.
I think that any parent that can sit there and say, I've never lost my temper with my child, I've never gotten loud with my child, is fucking lying.
Yeah.
Because being a parent, especially a parent to a toddler, is hard. I'm sure being a parent to my fucking 15-year-old ass, I know it was hard. So it's fucking hard. My parents lost their temper with me a lot.
I remember losing my temper with the boys and like they couldn't even communicate yet.
Yeah.
Like I had to put my kids through speech therapy and stuff, but even then it was like they can't clearly communicate with you. They clearly don't understand exactly what you are saying and exactly what you're dealing with.
Right.
And they are like fucking 4 and you're losing your temper with them. And I got something I'll have you read if you don't mind. It's a short passage.
No, okay.
But there was a book I read, and in it was a reference to a certain like article or something. And any parent out there, I challenge you to look this up and read it. It's called Father Forgets. And when I read this book and I read this passage, I immediately broke down and cried because I realized in that moment exactly how bad I had fucked up to that point with my kids.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, one of the best things that I ever heard about being a parent, I heard on TikTok. And it was a dad. And I'm sure people out there have heard this. But he basically said, anytime you ever start to get frustrated with them, feel angry, you're about to lose your shit, stop and think that this one exact moment is never going to happen again. This is the one time this moment is going to happen. They're never going to get younger. They're never going to go back to this moment. They're only going to get older. It's never going to happen. How you react in this situation right now, you can only do it once. And I have thought back to that so many times in the past month or two where, you know, I got a kid that's, you know, he's working on his 15th and 16th tooth. He's been irritable. He's getting into shit he shouldn't be getting into.
Teeth, bro. Goddamn.
He
How
throws
many teeth we got?
24.
27 is the number that comes to my head. I have
But
no
anyways,
clue.
Too
why would
many
we have
for
an
this
odd
county.
number of teeth?
I don't know.
But
Yeah, for real. Damn.
but
That
anyways,
boy's from the sticks.
it's when you're about to freak out, you know, you look at them and you think, and that's what I've been doing when I'm about to lose my shit and he's throwing a fucking temper tantrum because I told him no, he can't do something, and he won't stop screaming about it, and I'm getting to that point where I can feel it boiling up. It's coming. I'm tired of hearing him scream and cry about not getting his way, and I think to myself, I'm never going to have this opportunity to, instead of yelling, to just coach.
Yeah.
And no, this isn't gentle parenting. I'm not a gentle parent. Redirect him to, why don't I'll just play with him instead. I'm going to make him forget that I even told him no to do something in the first place. Right. And so that has impacted me quite a bit to think of this exact moment in time is never going to happen again. Ever. I'm never going to get it back. And if I act like a jackass, if I make an ass out of myself in front of my girlfriend, in front of our kid, I can never get that back. I did it once. I don't want to do it again. I'm learning from that mistake. I am not a perfect parent. I'll be the last person to ever admit that I'm a perfect parent. But I learned from my fuck-ups. And when I had that freak out moment, I never want to feel that again. I don't ever want my kid to be afraid of me. I don't ever want anything like that to happen. So that sounds very similar to what you were saying. That it's
Yeah, that's great advice.
because you're never gonna get that moment back ever.
My issue was always, and I've gotten better with it over time, obviously, but in the heat of a moment, if I get really, really mad about something, like I lose all awareness, and I'm just in a mode of reacting. And so regaining that awareness and understanding what the fuck I'm actually doing in that moment and gaining composure and control over my actions, that's where I struggle.
Yeah, I think we all do, man. As men,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm not an advocate for gentle parenting. I will not have a punk. I want to have a
Hell no.
punk ass kid.
Nope.
But if he's, especially at the age that he's at now, bro, he's a toddler. He doesn't understand. He is just learning what being mad feels like, what being sad feels like. He doesn't know how to express that. He can't say, "Daddy, I'm sad," or "Daddy, I'm mad."
Yeah.
That's not how he can communicate what he's feeling right now. Now, when he's fucking 4 or 5 years old and he's being a little punk and doing shit he shouldn't be after he's been told not to, I'm gonna bust his ass. But right now, that's not the case. So I am fully convinced that the quote-unquote terrible twos, which I think starts at about 16 months
Yeah.
and lasts till they're about 4 or 5,
Yeah.
is the toughest stage.
It makes
So-
sense because my daughter's having her freakouts as well.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough, especially when they don't stop. And I don't know if you're like me,
Oh, he hasn't got which Sydney had it.
repetitive noises.
Yeah,
I don't like turn
make
signals.
you lose your shit.
I don't like
yeah.
fucking turn signals. When he's screaming his head off because I told him no, he can't do nothing, he won't stop.
That's why you like boundaries. There's no consistent.
It's not consistent, dog. It changes up on you. Full circle,
Full circle.
motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, you guys wanted to talk about the podcast deal.
Yeah, and you'll be able to touch on it quite a bit as well because it's a neat thought to work through. And all right, Tyler, tell me what it was about again.
My goodness. So the title of the podcast episode was something along the lines of why rock is dead and Twitter hates me. And so the premise is he had said something on Twitter about rock being dead and kind of his thought process as to why, and he got a ton of fucking hate mail.
Shout out Punk Rock MBA and Finn McKenty.
I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but when I go
He does a
through
good job.
when I go through my phases, he was a really good podcast for me. Listen for me. But in this episode, he's kind of reiterating his thought around it, and then also reinforcing it with some information and some context. And so, some of the things he was talking about is kind of comparing rock today compared to what it was like in its peak. And in its peak was like late 90s, early 2000s, when you would see rock stars right up there with these big pop stars on like magazines and MTV and music charts and stuff like that. And today there's such a vast not discrepancy, but disparity between where you see rock music on charts and out in like pop culture and stuff, and where you see these big pop stars and stuff. Whereas in early 2000s and the 90s and whatnot, the two kind of went hand in hand. And rock has just digressed so much to where, yeah, we will say like, a quote unquote mainstream rock band or a mainstream metal band, but in the grand scheme of what mainstream actually is, they ain't shit. None of them are. And you look at like Bring Me the Horizon versus a fucking Cardi B. There's no goddamn comparison.
No comparison.
The
Taylor Swift.
Holy fuck! No.
Does she even write good music anymore?
Probably
I have no idea.
But I don't listen to it.
Has
but
she ever written good music?
I don't think so. But
I have no idea.
I can't say I really ever dove into her music to know. But it's
Fair
like
enough.
any rock band that's come out since like 2005, we'll say, or metal band that's come out since then, cannot touch the level of quote unquote mainstream as like a Taylor Swift or a fucking
Popularity.
Beyonce or anything like that with popularity. And he was kind of talking about some of the why behind that, and he was like, I've been receiving hate mail from people that are like, well, I don't want these artists that I listen to be on that level because I don't want to pay $300 for a ticket to go see them. And he's like, well, wouldn't you want the artist that you really love to like
have that
make
kind of success.
music? And knowing that most bands, most artists in this genre can't make enough money to sustain a living, to be able to do this for a living, like that is part of the reason why this genre has died and why there's not that many artists out there or bands out there getting started that are putting out good music, because they can't make money at it and be able to do it consistently for a living. Who the fuck's actually going to do it? Answer is not very many people.
What are you going to be good at that you're not consistent at?
Nothing.
Like, you can sit in your bedroom and write riffs all day and write program songs all day. But if you can't get together with your band over a span of 5 years, 2 days a week.
That's like, I was just talking to my dad earlier today, and he was kind of giving me some grief about like, why don't you guys get your stuff, together and record it and send it out to radio and this and that. And he's like, why do you seem to work so hard on your music when you don't seem to want to leave the garage with it? And I'm like, well, look, in order to make it in the music industry, just being good at the music isn't enough. And like the business side of things, like I need the support. I need everybody in the band to be on the same page to make any kind of moves on the business side, because if this one member isn't willing to do the things necessary to take us to the next level on the business side, then it's never going to get there. You are only as strong as your weakest link in a band. And if one member of the band can't, for whatever reason, and a lot of the times I'm the reason we can't do the things. I got kids. I can't do this particular show or whatever. Yeah, I'm a fucking terrible person.
You got a fucking red beard, bitch.
I got a red beard, so we obviously aren't going to make it very big.
Better than fucking no beard.
Damn.
Fuck
Damn.
fuck you, bitch. But
No, can't grow a beard having ass.
yeah, but there's that side of it. But then the other thing that I thought was very interesting that this dude brought up was that no one is really willing to put themselves out there to be a star.
No, because they're gonna get fucking canceled.
But he did mention people like Ronnie Radke and shit like that,
Ronnie
who
don't give a fuck.
are willing to put themselves
Ronnie
out
don't give a
there
fuck.
and put themselves in that position to be a star. But he's like, there hasn't been that many people since like the early 2000s. He brought up like Fred Durst and shit, and like how he was on magazines with Britney Spears, the biggest fucking pop star of the time. Like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Cancel culture has ruined so many people from wanting to. Some of it appropriate, right? Some of it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Somebody's a fucking pedo or somebody's a fucking whatever it is.
you rip a hard R, you know what I mean? You're done.
Yeah, not unless you're Morgan Wallen.
Okay,
It
well,
blew him up.
that's
And
weird.
after he did that, he had rappers that wanted to do collabs with him.
Really?
It's like that episode of Family Guy where Peter says he's going to go to the hood and say the N-word, and he comes back and he's wearing a crown and has a sash on that says King of the Black People. He's like, they respected me for saying it. So,
No,
I find that interesting, actually, and that makes me feel
they tried
better
their
about the
fucking
world.
ass off to cancel him, and it blew him the fuck up. You got to understand, he's a country artist.
It's not really like the masses that are about this cancel culture.
No, it's a
the
very small group.
gatekeepers.
It's a very small group of woke-minded people, for the most part,
Who
that
kind of run
well,
everything.
he supports transphobia. And
Sorry, I didn't want to fuck the man lady.
sorry, I don't give a fuck if you were born a dude and think you're a chick. Guess what?
Right.
You're not. Cancel me,
Well,
please. But that is a part of it, right? But there is a cost to fame, not just the potential
Oh,
for being
absolutely.
canceled and blacklisted and all that shit. But they've tried to cancel Ronnie Radke forever. He still sells shows out.
Well, and I think you make a good point, and a part of me is like, yes, that's a part of it, but the other side of it to me is like, if you care about the music so much and the song so much and the album so much, like, that's what it's about. It's not about being a star, but in order to be a big deal, you really do have to put yourself out there in a position of, I got to make some waves somehow.
I quit doing TikToks because, bro, I'm just like anybody else. I don't want to get bullied online. But does that make me a pussy? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't want fucking random ass people on the internet shit talking me nonstop for no fucking reason.
It's not even what they're saying. It's just the presence of negativity
Like, I don't need that in my
being
life.
directed towards you in your life. And for me, like, I don't know that I'd ever want to be like a big famous deal because, like, one, I couldn't deal with people getting in my face with cameras. I'd fucking hit somebody. And then the other thing,
Bro,
you
listen.
get in my kid's face with cameras, I will fucking kill you.
Listen, hey, Mike Tyson beat up paparazzi before. Mike Tyson went to prison for rape. He's still a huge star.
Yeah.
It's all good. You get away with it. Just punching somebody for getting in your face.
But yeah, like, allowing my kids to, like, have a normal life, like, if they choose it, like, let them be.
You know
but
who's
like
done a really
paparazzi
good job
won't do
about that? And you might agree with this or disagree, but LeBron James. I think, and I don't like LeBron, but he has done a really good job, for the most part, of letting his kids be kids. Like, done a
Yep.
really nice job.
I agree. Yeah, it seems that way at least.
So there are,
I mean, that's pretty cool.
then you look at the fucking Kardashians.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah, they got famous from a sex tape. I mean, let's just start there. But
They got famous because their stepdad was famous.
because he was OJ's lawyer. Or no, you're
He was
well,
an
their
Olympian.
dad was OJ's lawyer, Robert Kardashian. But yes, their stepdad, Bruce Jenner, was famous. But yes. But Kim blew up because her Ray J sex tape.
Yeah.
Ray
Yep.
J had some bangers.
Couldn't name you
He
one.
made
of
a
the
banger on Pornhub, I suppose, as well.
songs. Yeah, dog on the hub. But
yeah,
so to the whole sentiment of rock is dead, I think rock's been dead since 99, 2000. Think back to the fucking 50s, bro. That was all there was. When people like B.B. King and Chuck Berry and Elvis and like when rock and roll became the thing, that's all anybody listened to in the younger generation was rock and roll music. That's it. There wasn't such thing as pop or something. You know, their parents were listening to jazz
was
and
R&B.
boogie woogie and
There was R&B.
yeah,
That was-
R&B,
that was-
yeah.
Kind of like pop of the day.
But their parents were listening to boogie woogie and jazz and oldies and stuff
Boogie
like that.
Woogie. Let's fucking go.
You know what
bro.
boogie woogie is, bro?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's do some fucking twist.
yeah. But rock and roll took the world by storm and controlled it for decades on end. And now I will say that like the 80s, you start getting pop music that's extremely popular, but I still will contest that I think metal and rock were king in the 80s.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just said that the other day when we were talking.
we were
like,
talking about Rat.
hair metal and that kind of music, like that's what people did on the weekend.
Thrash
you went
metal
and
was
fucking
underground.
partied. Yeah, you went and fucking partied and you listened to Crew and
Yep.
whoever else,
Poison
and
and
like
Cinderella
and hip
White
hop
Snake
and rap.
Yep.
has taken over, and pop and a little bit of country.
Country has seen a huge surge in popularity.
What kind of
Because-
country are we talking?
But because they
Yeah.
have poppy hip hop elements in it,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of this stuff.
So it's like with the way hip hop and rap has became this big deal, rock and metal has taken this back seat for whatever reason. And I understand if you have somebody screaming at you initially, it's not something you gravitate
yeah, if
toward.
you haven't heard it before.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
You got daddy
fuck. We didn't
issues,
like it
don't
at
listen
first.
to metal.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't like the screaming shit at
No, because
first.
we listened to Metallica and hair metal and
Yeah,
everything else because that's
yeah.
what our dads listened to. So it was-
Right.
But no, I as someone who's never been a big fan of most rock music, I don't care for rock. I mean, I like Three Doors Down, I like Creed, I like stuff like that. But
You like
don't-
STP. You like more than you think.
you think STPs?
Rock.
Yeah.
I thought they were more.
I mean, they're grunge, but that's a form of rock.
Grunge falls more in that rock category.
I
though.
kind of just always viewed grunge as its own thing, but I get what you're saying. So yeah, you're right. But like the more mainstream, like I don't like Coldplay, I don't like Foo Fighters, I don't like
Oh, I love Foo Fighters.
shit like that, like the mainstream
Yeah.
rock. I don't like Stained. I don't.
You used to.
No, I didn't.
You weren't into Stain?
No,
Okay.
I never liked Stained. I always thought Stained was the redheaded bastard stepchild to Three Doors Down. And Creed.
I don't know. Maybe to Creed, but not Three Doors Down. Three Doors Down was a little more pop mainstream.
Like, early Stained
rock
was
than,
heavy shit.
Yeah,
It was.
Stained
At the time.
bro. Stained was shit. The first
Yeah, I
couple,
never cared
first few
for Seether.
albums.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I
just
do like
the-
rock music.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Seether, yeah. Shine
Breaking
Down.
Benjamin.
Yeah, Shinedown had some good shit.
Is Smile Empty Soul considered rock?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All
Rock.
alternative
Maybe I
rock.
like
Yeah.
rock then.
Yeah.
Man, I heard
That was the thing,
Bottom of
though.
a Bottle the other day.
Yeah.
See,
Chevelle,
I
that's
get
a
almost
form of rock.
Yeah.
I get almost irritated when I hear Bottom of the Bottle because I'm like, that's nowhere near their best song.
Right.
But it's like
It
the
just
one
came
song
on in a
everyone
shuffle.
knows.
And it just, oh man, I love Puddle of Mud.
Yeah,
All
see what I mean, man?
I fucking like rock music.
But that
But like rock is not that
no,
anymore.
it's not. No, it's
not that.
No. I don't even know what a modern rock band is. Could you name me one?
Rain
Like-
City Drive.
Yeah, but I still think they're more alternative.
Yeah,
It's a form of
would,
rock,
They
though.
would be. I don't really listen to radio that much
Right.
Because
so I
Rain
can't
City
really.
Drive is not Boys of Fall, right? Boys of Fall
Right.
is a metal band, but it's more of an alternative metal
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
I would say rock nowadays is like, you know, I hear a lot about like Hailstorm and
You
Yeah.
still
This
hear a lot of
Moment
about.
and,
Oh yeah, I mean that's been a while.
uh, What else out there? Fucking
Bad
Hell
Wolves is a big
Yeah.
deal nowadays.
Hell yeah!
Okay, Donnie
Wolves,
Pick.
wolves at the
Wolves.
not wolves at the gate.
Shirt of
wolves,
1,000 wolves.
What,
Donnie Baker, baby.
what is the full name of the band? Is it
What?
just Wolves?
Bad Wolves.
Bad Wolves. Yeah. I was
You
like,
say
fuck.
it.
Wolves.
You
No,
keep
how do you
saying
want me to say
wolves. Anyway,
Wolves.
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 Ooh, that
He
does
said-
feel weird. to
But
he said
uh,
wolves.
they're actually pretty fucking metal.
Shirt of 1,000
Yeah.
If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they did the one rock cover, so they
Yeah,
got
they
kind of thrown
blew
on
up
radio and
yeah.
shit.
The
I'm
Blondie
actually a
cover.
switch thrower.
So I mean, I think there's
Satchel.
I like to check the runner when there's nobody on base.
then you
Throws
got
the hitter
Shinedown
I'm
still exists.
ambidextrous. What he
Oh
say?
my
Amphibious.
Amphibious. There it is.
Ambidextrous.
Fucking rest in peace, Donnie Baker, man.
Anyway,
Shinedown, yeah.
like Shinedown's still around, putting out some music.
Evanescence, I don't think they're still doing
They're
anything, are they?
Nah, they ain't been doing shit in a while. I heard they were
Creed's
going
back,
on
but-
tour again.
Creed's back,
but,
yo.
so like, there's still some of these
But yes, I
rock
would-
elements, but I think a
I would
lot of it's
agree with
moved more
his
towards.
sentiment that rock music is dead. There is not one band in rock or metal right now that is on the level of Taylor Swift. Not one.
Couldn't even
Couldn't even come
touch it.
close. Metallica in 89, 90, 91, it's bigger than Taylor Swift is now, but it's not 1989.
Right.
Metallica played in front of 2 million people.
Right.
Yeah,
Was that the Russia show?
yeah, Moscow. Yeah,
Moscow, yeah.
but it's not 1989 anymore. It's not 1991 anymore. There is no band that is on that level. You hate to see it, because I think the music that the majority of people enjoy is fucking shit can music.
Yes. Yep.
Meaningless,
But they're not.
fucking putrid music.
They're not listening to the music for the music. They're listening to the music for the vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Because it's a party and all my friends like it. And
Yep.
You sound so hot when you do that.
thanks. Yeah. Till they see it's just a fat bearded guy in a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt.
That's why I'll never
Well,
trust
we've
Tinder
already
again.
established that you two are queers.
Yeah, that's why I'll never trust Tinder again. Yeah.
I met Cheyenne on Tinder. Not very many people know that.
Oh,
From the same town, met on Tinder. How about that?
that's hot.
No. Now we have a kid.
So
have a Tinder,
I should
baby.
definitely stay off Tinder then.
Yeah,
Make sure I
unless-
don't
unless you
end
wanna-
up with another kid.
I mean, unless you want another kid, then you could go. You know.
I honestly wouldn't be upset about having another kid, but I think I'm too late in the game now.
No,
my
dog.
my kids are.
Bro, my brother and I are 11 years apart, and he's my best friend. He just came over to my house tonight for supper. We're playing Warzone tomorrow night. Love him. There is a weird time period where you're like 17 and they're like 10
A baby.
or like 8, but that time period is about the only weird period. When he started to get to be like 13, 14 and got into like video games and sports,
Bitches.
yeah, he's into bitch. He uses my kid for clout.
Yeah,
He was taking
him.
Yeah,
I do let him.
Hell yeah. Hell
Punk's in
yeah.
town.
I do.
Hey,
let
that's
him.
a bro
He's
right there.
He's taking snaps with Walker, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna use Walker for clout for bitches purposes." I was like, "You do you, homie." I didn't. I said, I didn't use your ugly ass for clout when you were a kid, because by the time I was interested in bitches, you were like 6 or 7, so it was like you were ugly at that point.
I would expect my
Yeah,
brother
crooked
to
ass
use
teeth.
my kid. If I had a brother that didn't use my kids as clout, I'd be like, dude, are you gay?
You
Like,
sussy wussy, man.
Yeah.
He did. He was like snapping pictures of Walker eating his supper, all excited in his high chair. He's
Yeah,
like,
I just fed this
he
fucking
said,
kid.
He said, bitches love Nuggy, man. You use the Nug for whatever clout you need, man.
Oh,
He's
man.
holding him like, yeah.
Only held him for 10 seconds.
So
to
just
get
don't
the-
don't
get the
show him your
snap,
Call of
but-
Duty KD, bro.
Oh,
They'll
man.
know you ain't a real one. Hey, join the clan. If you on COD, hop on the clan. Clan tag FJB. Let's go.
Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure is. We used to be the Yeaton clan. Now it's fuck Joe Biden clan.
Fuck politicians. Anyway,
Shaga.
So
I think we can wait for the Johnny Booth show.
yeah, I
I
think
think
we've been
we've-
recording for a while, so
we
I think
went over a lot.
we've covered. There's a lot for the listeners to digest. So
We also did a lot of this.
yeah, would it be a Screaming Idiot show if we didn't do that though?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
not.
I think we did a
have
decent
to.
job of reeling it back in.
I think so too. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You guys and gals. Oh my God, Cheyenne, really? Jesus Christ, that fucking red ass hair all over my fucking shirt. Fire crotch, goddamn. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Our 1 year later, year in review. Looking forward to another year of content and getting to entertain. Hopefully make you guys laugh. Maybe you learn something. And above all, just continue to be a space for you to come. And,
I'm going to come.
I was waiting on it. A space for you guys to come and enjoy, listening to some of our debates and topics that we discuss. And as always, please feel free to engage with us on YouTube, on Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe, please. Turn on automatic downloads. That helps us out big time. Leave a like, leave a review. Even if you think even if you think we're bastards, okay? Any engagement is good engagement. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. And until next time, we are the Screaming Idiots. We'll see you next time.
Peace, love, dove.
Always feels good.
You gotta leave that in there.